Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about an important question. Should I tuck my chain or let it show? All right. So that line is from Gazelle. He's a rapper. I really like him. I'll link him below. And he asked this question, right? And in the song, it's a legitimate question. Should I tuck my chain or let it show? Now, what does this mean, and what does this have to do with Dungeons and Dragons? Well, basically what this means is like every rapper worth their salt has a chain, right? Like, and that chain could be literally like 200 grand around your neck. It could be $1 million around your neck, right? If it's got diamonds or whatever on it. And it's a big, thick, shiny gold chain, right? And it's basic equipment in rap, right? Now, dungeon masters don't wear chains, but we got a chain. Like, and what is that chain? What is that gold chain, right? And so first, let's talk about what the gold chain is, and then we'll talk about whether we should tuck it or let it show, right? So, what is the gold chain? Well, you see it all the time now. You see it a lot in YouTube videos, right? It's $2,000 to $20,000 behind you in books, right? I would say my Dungeons and Dragons collection at this point is probably between, it's minimum 3,000, probably around $6,000 to $8,000 I have in D&D stuff, right? And actually, yeah, that's about right? And the reality is, when people come into my home, right, I first of all, if they're not even remotely connected to the scene, I don't talk about it, right? And I don't say anything to it. But if anybody ever goes over and they're looking at my books, which does happen a lot, right? I'll say, oh, hey, this is my Dungeons and Dragons collection. I'll say, these are my Orange Spine Easleys, right? These cost $600, and they took about 6 months to collect. These are my D&D 5th edition books. There's about 20 of them now, and I have about 70 to 80% of all the D&D 5e books that are out there. This is my 3e stuff. This is the DMG, the PHB, and the Monster Manual in every single edition, right? This is original art from the D&D 3rd edition Dungeon Master book. That's on the wall right over there, framed, right? And then I'll even point like, oh, this is every single edition of Shadowrun, right? This is a staff signed, all the writers, all the artists, Earth Dawn. Collectible, limited collection cover of Earth Dawn from 2006 Gen Con. And I'll just go through it, if there's eyes start glazing over, I won't say anymore. But a lot of times they're like, hey, I'm here for it. I want to, this is clearly important to you, right? This is a first edition Traveler box, right, with every single book in it. Probably very good, maybe not mint, but like just this is Marvel Saga with all the cards. This is Dragonlance Saga with all the cards, right? Like I got some serious stuff. I got a chain, right? And you got a chain too. I'll bet you if you listen to this channel, 9 chances out of 10 you got a chain, right? Like, so I had no compunctions like rolling out and just balling out and saying, this is what I got. This is my chain. I'm going to let it show, right? But I'm thinking more about this lately, and like I'm about to do $400 to spend this year. D&D Direct has locked me into $400 to spend just this year in Dungeons & Dragons, right? And by the way, everything I got on the shelf has just gone up in value. Like it's only going up, right? Nothing I just said is going down in value. Oh, and I have thousands of dollars in Magic cards, which are all related to D&D now. Right? It's incredible, right? It's just, So the reality is I have that chain. You have that chain. We used to show it, and there wasn't really any question on whether we should show it. But now there's a question. Should we tuck our chain or should we let it show? Right? Tuck my chain or let it show? Why would we tuck it, right? Well, I'll tell you right now, President Obama, he is a very real reason to tuck your chain. President Obama has absolutely, and actually also President Putin. yeah. Putin has raised the price on every single thing in America. He has made sure that Biden has no chance at fixing. Biden started the inflation. Putin made it permanent, right? Permanent for Biden's presidency. Inflation is a permanency of Biden's presidency. And every American is suffering under President Biden, right? And for me, that, I learned to grind without the sunshine. I got enough where it is where these prices are an annoyance, right? Maybe they're a pinch, right? Sometimes it's a little painful, right? Just a little pain, right? But for many Americans, this is starting to get legit painful, right? There are people legitimately struggling to buy bread and milk, right? And this is new, right? In America, under President Trump, man, we were balling out. Capitalism was on the rise, right? There was a chicken in every pot, and 2 cars in every driveway, and it was like, at the macro level. At the macro level, there's always exceptions. I don't care about exceptions. I care about the macro when I'm talking on this channel, right? I'll talk about exceptions because it's just boring, right? Because you can never say anything of significance, right? And so, but and it was a go burr economy. Now it's go burr, I'm cold because I can't afford heat economy, right? And so as there is a distinct possibility that one or more of your players are starting to feel real pain, right? Now, I think the majority of your players are fine, but, it is getting tight out there, right? And the reality is, I don't think showing our chain is as riskless as it once was, right? And so when we have, thousands of dollars in art, right? And that's really what all these books are. And, and the art, literally the art from the books. These libraries are, that could be painful for some people, right? So I think for the next, until Biden is done, we need to start tucking our chain, right? Now, the reality is, I don't think you need to cover up your library, right? But the reality is, even if somebody asks, you're like, yeah, I'm into Dungeons and Dragons. And then you could be like, this is my favorite book, right? This is Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's what I'm reading right now. And then just cut it there, right? Like, because the reality is, I was very proud of my library. And I liked sharing it with people who I thought had some interest in hearing about it. But more and more, I think we might need to be very, very careful how we are presenting the things we have, right? Because I think it could be really painful for some people. And to just see, like, and the other thing that's kind of strange, too, is as we go into these hard times where, literally bread and milk are, like, becoming unreachable luxuries, like, for many Americans, I think during Biden's presidency, tuck that chain. Starting now, tuck the chain. Don't show it, because I think for some people it's going to start to get painful. And also, it is interesting to me that if you did do these things, worst comes to worst, you can eBay them. I love my stuff, man, but if anybody in my family doesn't have what they need, I'll sell it in the New York second. All right, like, that's all there is to it. And I'll keep one essentials kit done, right? So it's also kind of interesting that these libraries are now a little bit of economic armor, which is very interesting because these things are not going down in value, which is kind of surprising. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.